welcome to Mom Always Said. Now, this is what my mom said. I am not a mother. I'm an after-school cab driver. Now, this she passed on to me, so I am putting a meter in my van, and I'm going to start charging my kids for driving them from one end of Virginia Beach to the other. So how do you guys deal with, no, seriously, taking your kids after a hard day of work to all their after-school activities?
Oh my goodness. Well, I try to talk to them, like, so the start of the week, after everyone's getting all their stuff together on Sunday, then we look at our little calendar that I put out, and we talk about it. We're like, okay, who has what going on? Where do we need to be? And what, you know,
So pre-planning is a really good thing, because that also, I think, allows us as moms to plan the meals, what we can eat. Do we need to bring something in the car? Do we have to stop at a fast food place? So I think it prepares us. And when you're prepared, I think we're calmer and we get to, not overwhelmed by the schedule.
And it makes them feel good to know that you've set aside the time, you've scheduled it, and that you've got everything in line for them to be able to take advantage of those things, because those activities are so important. They help them, with school. They're very important for them to be involved.
Right, and I think, when our kids are involved, one, we know where they are.
Exactly, that's true.
They're getting, if it's a sport, that we know they're getting their physical activity.
Exactly.
We know that they're not sitting there in front of the computer or, texting and Skyping and doing all that other stuff, that it gives them a sense of purpose. And I think as parents, when we are driving them and we're there at the activities, it shows them that we value our kids, that we're, interested in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it definitely has a really strong emotional bond with the mom and, the parents and, their kids, that they have that time. Sometimes, I don't know if you're driving around and you find that time in the car. It's almost like those are the moments that you can actually use to open up conversation with your kids. I find that I always am able to do that one-on-one, talk with them during that time frame.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if they actually do these activities, it gives them that emotional and psychological strength in them.
That is so true.
So what are some tips that you guys use to actually deal with that hectic schedule? Driving, picking up one kid, taking them to another place. What are some things or strategies that you guys use?
Well, I think it's important to, first of all, realize you can't be everywhere at one time.
Right.
And so if your children, say the neighbors or some other children who are in your neighborhood, if you have an adult that you trust, that you can get to share the pickup duties or the drop-off duties, that type of thing, I think that's important, because that helps you, especially if you have more than one child who's involved in activities. That's going to be very, very, very helpful to get some other parents that you can trust to help.
Right. I think knowing that if you have very limited time, I guess, to catch something to eat, maybe bring some snacks in the car, some healthy, vegetables or crackers, cheese, something that they can eat, so they're not, always going through the drive-through and wasting time, getting just having the snacks there in the car is another probably tip that we can use.
That's true. And sometimes when I know it's going to be a long day after work and after school, I'll have dinner already prepared and have it, cooled in the refrigerator. So when we do get home, they can still have a good, hot, fresh meal, but, just warmed up. So.
Or crock pot is another
good.
That's true.
Crock
pot's another
wonderful
always a good invention that they have.
That's so true. But it's important that you still, with all of that you still don't overschedule. It's important for them to be involved, but we don't want to overschedule, because family time is important also. And so it's so important that you, sometimes it's, one's running in, the other one's running out, and the whole week goes, and no one has sat down together to have a meal together or anything like that, because everybody's been so busy. So I think it's important to have a balance.
And I think also when you overschedule your child, it tends to add maybe even more stress to them, on top of getting their schoolwork done, on top of, the peer pressure and things like that. I think, like you said, just, it's okay to say no. No, you're not going to do this today. No, no is a good word. We think it's a bad word, but at times, when we're running around, yes, it can be a very good word.
Yeah.
But then again, we live in an age where a lot of kids actually are overachievers. They excel in school and want to still, participate in after-school activities. Like I know with my own kids, they know they're going to be busy after school, so they actually get their homework done at school. Who does that anymore? Who does that? But my kids actually do that because it's something they look forward to. So it's actually a good thing.
And the one piece of the puzzle that we as moms do have to remember, that we also have to schedule time for us.
Oh gosh,
You know,
yes.
and it's not always about the kids. That, you know, you need, again, tell your kids, no, this is me time. This is, you know, mommy and daddy, or this is just my time. I need,
Exactly.
you know, the break.
And they do too.
Yeah, they do too. They need a break
We
from
need
us.
a break from each
Each
other.
You know, after spending, you know, 5 and 6 hours in the car, driving all over to activities, yes, we do need that downtime. And,
Right.
you know,
We really do.
It's really important.
so thank you, ladies. That was great. And we've talked about ways to keep your sanity, which is very important, while keeping the kids, you know, actively involved, and, you know, the benefits of after-school activities. We hope you guys have learned a lot of helpful tips, and we look forward to seeing you soon on Mom Always Said.